You know Leah Quinn? So she's a musician also, and one day she's like, hey, listen, NASCAR wants to fly us out and have you play a set and me play a set for NASCAR.
We could go for a stroll on the moonlit night.
They flew us out for this thing, and it was in Fort Worth, Texas. And now I've never been to Texas. So I don't know what to expect. We got there in the morning, we had to play that night. So we went during the day to Texas Motor Speedway and we both played. And then the next day she flew home and they wanted me to play for another day. So I was there by myself and I had no idea what to do. So I get back and when I was leaving, the guy says, listen, this is a yellow card. He goes, when you come back tomorrow, make sure you put the yellow card on the windshield of your car on the inside. And if you happen to go out tonight, make sure you keep your NASCAR laminates with you. You'll have a good time. And I was like, okay. So I stepped out of the hotel and I'm trying to ask people like, hey, what's good to eat around here, you know? So nobody would give me the time of day. So I was like, oh, the laminates. So I went back to my hotel room and I put the laminates on and I came down and people were coming out for, oh, hey, you doing a NASCAR event? What are you oh, so you're a musician? You're playing music at NASCAR? Oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I was like, what a different attitude these people have all of a sudden. So now, oh, you want to eat? Yeah, try Risky's over there. This place is great. They make ribs and it's great. So I was like, all right. So I went over there and I walk in and I had a sweatshirt on and I had the laminates were inside the sweatshirt. So I go to the bar area and I sit down and the bartender would not come over to me. This just sucks. And there's this dude sitting next to me and he's like, do you want a beer, man? Yeah, I'll just waiting for the bartender. And he's like, hey, and he puts his hand up. Sure enough, the bartender comes right over. He's like, what can I get you, man? Not to me, to the guy next to me. And he's like, oh, I'm fine, but he needs something. And he goes, and I'm buying it. You don't need a menu. He goes, he'll do the ribs. And I was like, okay. I'm thinking like, we're not dating, dude, you know, I'm just here having dinner, right? So I start to eat them and they're real messy. So I took my sweatshirt off because I had a t-shirt on underneath it. And all of a sudden the laminates are there. And the guy's like, oh, you doing a NASCAR event? But I felt cool with him because he didn't know and he was the only friendly person to me, you know? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm playing music at Texas Motor Speedway for the Nextel Cup. And he's like, oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. And all of a sudden the bartender heard him say that. And he's like, hey, man, can I buy you a shot? I'm like, no, I'm good. And so all of a sudden he's like, so you're musicians, you're doing karaoke. Why don't you go up and sing? And I'm like, I'm all right. I'm good. And he's like, no, come on. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll buy all your beers tonight if you sing. And I was like, you can't go wrong there. So I went up and I did She Talks to Angels and the crowd went berserk. And then all of a sudden, like, girls are coming up and guys are, oh, let me get you a beer, oh, let me get you a shot. And I'm just like, what the hell? This place changed completely. Turns out the guy was a rancher from Alberta, Canada. And so this is why he didn't have the same mentality as everybody else down in Texas. And then he's like, I got one more place we're gonna stop. He's like, we're gonna go to a bowling alley. And I'm like, a bowling alley? And I'm like, all right, whatever. So he drives us to this bowling alley. And we walk in and none of the women are dressed. They're all naked. I'm like, where are we? And he's like, yeah, it's all the women here are naked. Not people working here, like didn't matter, old, young, they're all naked. And I was like, what is this? And people were bowling, they had music, there was a bar. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm thinking like, all right, I don't even want to know what the next stop's gonna be. And then the next day, got in the car, was driving to the NASCAR event, got right onto the highway, one lane, completely filled with traffic. And I had an hour to get there. And I didn't know what to do. So I put the laminate up and a Texas Ranger is driving by and he stops and he's like, oh, you working at the NASCAR event? I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, you playing music there? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, you're never gonna get there in time. He goes, here, I'm gonna turn around, follow me. Turns around, there's no cars in the other lane coming the opposite direction. We drove the entire way in the opposite direction and I just followed him with his lights on to the NASCAR event. He drove me right in, right up to the gate, right through the gate to where I had the staging area. I was like, what? This is awesome. It was a crazy trip. It was a lot of fun though.